Welcome to Monte Carlo. Catfish on pole from Oscar Folstad and Revo. Then it's Marcus Nelson starting alongside his teammate. Then Sebastian Ocampo and Daniel Bogdasarov. UK will start 7th from Tommy and Zach Wallace. Then it's Mohamed Awawi, Pierre Gasly, and the championship leader Pablo Sierra only in 12th. Iker World starts alongside his teammate. Then it's Ben Allen Lee, Daf Sanchez, and Remy LeBeau. Alongside him, his teammate the Red Devil, Denali Gabo, Babinus Jr., and Not Q, and Zay Lane. Well then, we've only got another 6 races after this one, but it's the jewel in the crown in the ERL. All 5 lights go on. And we're underway in Monte Carlo. Very bad start from Folstad off the line, having to drop right behind Folstad's main rival in Catfish as they head up the hill. Just said Folstad again. What the heck? Here he comes alongside Catfish as they come through Casino Square, but he's not quite able to attack Catfish because of the fact that he's having to defend from Nelson behind. Revo in 5th. Look at that from Ocampo. What a lunge around the outside and falls into the wall. And yellow flags. Out of the race goes Marcus Nelson. Pierre Gasly has been given a time penalty, and my goodness me, Iker World in the barrier. Oh dear, having to flip Nelson's car out of the... Whoa! What was that? What on earth was that from Lawless Leclerc? He just bounced off the wall. Oh dearie me. But we are now under full course yellow conditions. And there's in fact a bit of a gap beginning to form between drivers behind. But it is Catfish who leads the ERL race in Monaco. As we now get back underway on lap 2 of 19. Yellows once again present themselves in the second sector. That is Tommy facing the wrong direction. Unfortunate for the Venturi man at his team's home race. But he should be able to get himself into the pits. He's lost half of his front wing. He's got so much damage to his car and he's lost so much time. But he's now into the pits with soft tyres going on to that Venturi car. Catfish now coming through the tunnel in front of Folstad and Ocampo. Ocampo won this race back in season 16, which was a false dawn for the Andretti team, who at the time were orange, but we've got the real orange machines on the grid right now in McLaren, and we've got yellow flags in the second sector. They weren't for Pablo Sierra. It must have been someone going through Mirabeau. Catfish setting a fastest lap. Ocampo stealing it at 102.433. I'm having to do double duty managing the server as well. But looking with Revo coming up the hill through Beau Rivage and now through the Casino Square turn into Mirabeau. As the Red Devil setting a fastest lap of everybody in 11th position. It's not very clean goings out there for everybody, but in terms of how the teams and powertrains are looking, well, in terms of factory teams, I think for Renault right now, this might be one of their best opportunities to try and take the championship, but they've got so much going against them. This is Renault trying to take their first Constructors' Cup since season 1. That's 20 seasons ago. They're facing opponents like Power Motorsport, their own customers, who are just doing a much better job. And then they're facing 3 different DS-powered teams in Sims, Andretti, and the factory team into Cheetah. It doesn't seem like it's going to be that easy of a job to do with Bogdasarov and Sierra, but both of those drivers are definitely championship caliber. As we're watching Oscar Folstad in second position currently. On board we go with the race leader in Catfish. Not really facing too much adversity, as is the uniform for a race in Monaco. Zay Lane made the most of that opening lap as Tommy now sets a new fastest lap at 101.750. On board with Zay Lane, fighting with Ben Allen Lee. Allen getting past him. And Babinus Jr. and Tommy in 20th and 21st. This is not a good day in the office for the Venturi team. This is their home race, and they are running 20th and 21st. That is nowhere near good. Lap 5 of 19. The shortest lap on the calendar. It's only 2.075 miles in length, or about 33.339 kilometers, if you're inclined. So on board with Falstad, and considering the narrow width of the track here in Monaco, you are likely to see crashes, but way less likely to see any sort of overtake naturally. This tunnel is the main part of the track where you will see overtakes. Heading down into this breaking point of the Nouvelle Chicane, which sees you run into Tabac, then the swimming pool, then La Rascasse at turn 18, which sees you head on to Anthony No's corner. We've had a yellow flag period there, as I was reading off my track map. Oh dear, that's not good. Can't be distracted like that while you're commentating. Not too sure who that would have been for. We might see them come into the pits at the end of this lap. Catfish is in with Ocampo and Revo. Revo coming in, so he's had a lot of damage to his car. He was on the hard tyres and he goes on to the softs. Not a good day to be a tyre. Much less better day to be Italian. Now, there are some complaints being raised about some of the team names as in Comes and RQ. Like Sims Motorsport, named after the founder Jonathan Sims, but Power Motorsport has nothing to do with U-Cable. But I'd argue it's a pretty solid name. It just shows that Power just wants to, be powerful. And with them currently running 2nd and 11th, but with a time penalty for the man currently running 11th, it seems like they are currently doing it. And we've had yellows in the second sector. We've just about caught that. I was taking a sip of some water. It's the two French drivers. It's the two French cars, rather. Virtual safety car, Bogdasarov out. And I'm pretty sure it's the big one in Monaco. That's Pierre Gasly involved. Sierra is out. Neither French. Oh my god. I'm not even saying anything at this point. I cannot commentate over this. This is insanity in Monaco. How many cars is that involved in that melee? How many? How many? Oh my god. Oh shoot, that's Sanchez going through. Oh dearie me. We're down to 13 runners. Alan Lee comes in. Oh my god, we are down to 13 runners. And that's 13 drivers involved in one crash. 13 in one. Get a load of that. What sort of discount are we having here? Virtual safety car is ending. And Falstad leads from Catfish. The Catfish is closing in. So that must be Falstad. He came in during that virtual safety car period. Through the chicane he comes. But my oh my, that was... that's an incident of unimaginable levels, and we're not even at half race distance. There's a likelihood that we could see that happen again. We lost 9 drivers in a single incident at the Nouvelle Chicane. But Falstad now leads from Catfish and U-Cable. Leclerc comes into the pits. Pablo Sierra, the championship leader, out of this race. Big news in terms of the title hunt. So we are likely to leave here today with a new championship leader, but we are seemingly not likely to leave here today with an 8th new race winner in 8 races. 7 new race winners in 7 races, however. That is something insane. Pretty sure that happened in Formula 1 in real life in 2012, except that was 6 different winners in 6 races for the first repeat winner, Fernando Alonso. But Falstad going for his 2nd win of the season. As we've now got 10 laps to go. The team's surely, you're hoping that it's going to be over soon. because they've got over half the race to go. In fact, Polestar now heading on to the second half. Ica World setting the fastest lap of 101.716. UK Ball setting the fastest first sector of anyone, but he's being attacked by Catfish, who looks to try and go around the outside and is in the wall! Slide for Catfish, facing the wrong direction. At Mirabeau, I believe. No, it's at Portier, and he's been flipped by Ocampo. Going through there, and he's dropped down to 5th. He's in the wall again. Second hit for the wall for Catfish. In fact, it might have been Revo who might have hit him, but no penalties have been applied. And for the man who started the Monte Carlo Prix on pole, he's dropped down to 5th, and he's going to drop further. He's going to have to pit. Lap 10 of 19. And for Catfish, I think the only piece of solace that he's going to have is that he should be able to make it to the end of the race after this stop. It's his second stop of the day. In he comes. Might have wanted to have that incident maybe 2 laps later. Soft tyres going on. And he's going to re-emerge in this race in 7th. So he hasn't actually lost that many positions. He's dropped from 5th to 7th. So only really behind Zach Wallace and Ica World. The only teams that are currently on course for having 2 of their drivers even finish today are McLaren, Andretti, and not even Power Motorsport, Trackhouse Racing, with both Mercedeses and both Renaults crashing out. Fastest lap goes to the Red Devil, a 101.6. With 8 laps to go. And looking with UK Ball right now in 2nd place currently here in Monte Carlo. He's not looking as if he's going to try and take home a 2nd Crown Jewel victory of the season, but a 2nd Crown Jewel podium would do him just as well. And notice how radically different all the tracks are for the Crown Jewel. You've got Shanghai, the first race with one of the longest straights. Then you've got Monte Carlo, the second one, which is extremely small, as UK Ball now heads through the chicane. Then, with London, I don't know what I can truly say about it, as on board with UK Ball we go. I'm not really too sure on how to describe it. It's just the most standard track in the ERL. So Campo heads down through Anthony Nose. We've only got 7 more laps to go in Monte Carlo. Zach Wallace comes in for his 2nd stop 2 laps after Catfish came in. It's not really too much going on here. I can say that much after that massive crash earlier on. Catfish setting a fastest lap of 101.583. His tyres, 81%, 7 laps. No, he's going to need some more fortune today. And I'm not too sure if he's going to be able to get more fortune. For his team, Sims Motorsport, the icing on the cake of having one of their rival teams in Power Motorsport go out and having their 2nd major rivals in Renault go out is to have UK Ball crash out as well, but we don't hope for that in the booth. We hope for the most amount of drivers to finish, so then we have the most amount of action possible. But we don't manufacture action here, we're not NASCAR. Revo comes into the pits for medium tyres, which will comfortably see him to the end of this race. He'll come out of the pits, he'll be behind Catfish and a long way ahead of Zach Wallace. Not too sure if we have any Monegasque drivers on the grid as they come through Saint-Devot, and in fact he's behind Wallace. So we'll need to get past the McLaren man on track. Zach Wallace having a bit of a career resurgence right now. On board with the UK Ball coming through the Nouvelle Chicane. Coming into Tabac. Named after, yes, Henry Tabac. I don't know if that's a real person. into the swimming pool chicane, then up into La Rascasse and through Anthony Nose. And into the pits come the race leaders. Volstad and Ukable both pit. Ocampo heading down Anthony Nose, but he chooses to stay out. This gives me a massive eyebrow raise, if anything. Ica World coming into the pits as well, so that's going to elevate Catfish up into 4th position. It's not going to be a podium at a crown jewel event for the man returning to the ERL this season, making his 4th season debut. Of course, he came back for 2 races in season 20, and then for the entirety of the chase. We've got 3 pit stops for Tommy, 5 laps to go rather. A lot of weaving for Ocampo heading through the chicane, and Volstad now all over the back of him. 7 tenths is the gap. Looking with Catfish, his soft tyres beginning to show signs of blistering, so he might have to come in for a 3rd stop. Not ideal for Sim Sprinter Sport, but you know what? Fastest lap might not hurt them. In comes Ocampo at the end of lap 14. Volstad leads, Ukable 2nd, and Catfish might pit soon. And yellow's in the 2nd, track's been cleared. Seems to have been the man in front of Ben Allen Lee in Daf Sanchez, who's got a front puncture. Front left tyre puncture for Daf Sanchez, in contact with the back of Ben Allen Lee. Into the wall goes Sanchez. Hopefully we're not going to get another big one, but the Red Devil now right on the back. Rain falling heavily outside my window. In comes Daf Sanchez. The Red Devil follows him in. But it should remain dry in Monaco for the rest of this race. I'm recording this in the UK. Oh, bit of issues with his tyres for Catfish, it seems. Not too sure if Zach Wallace, Ukable, and Volstad will truly make it to the end comfortably. Volstad sets the fastest lap, 101 dead. It should be about time that we start seeing those sub 1 minute lap times. In comes Catfish, whose only hope of winning this race right now comes via strategy. Fastest first sector goes to Oscar Volstad, who has put a lap on both Sanchez and the Red Devil. 3rd stop for Catfish season. Re-emerge in this race in 7th, with Chiclerc coming in at the same time, and he should re-emerge in this race in 9th behind Ben Allen Lee. Allen Lee going past the pit lane right now as we're on board with Volstad, whose soft tyres should see him to the end somewhat comfortably, with Wallace and just Wallace really. I'm not too sure if those softs will truly make it to the end. Through the chicane they go. On board with Ocampo. And I'm not really too confident nor non-confident on the state of the tyres really. But on board with Volstad as he's heading through the opening sector down into Mirabeau, which will see him go through the Grand Hotel turn, and then we'll spit him out into Portier and into the wall. Seems to have gone one of these 3 drivers. Might have been Chiclerc, not too sure. If neither of them, then maybe Sanchez, likely Sanchez, because he's got 52% showing on his dashboard. And is there a bit of graining beginning to show on Ukable's softs? Unsure on that. With 2 laps to go. And look at that, blistering on the front right for Ukable, blistering more severely for Volstad on the penultimate lap. Will these tyres make it to the end? As we go on board with Revo, whose mediums are also showing signs of wear. Looks to try and go down the inside on Zach Wallace. Not gonna happen, because Wallace comes into the pits for his 3rd stop of the day. Catfish might have just had a big brain play It's down the inside on a lapped car for Volstad. On board with UK Ball, and look at the lines beginning to develop on those softs. For us to have an 8th unique race winner in season number 21, it would have to be Ica World currently. It'd have to be Ica World, Zach Wallace, Ben Allen Lee, or Tommy or Sanchez or the Red Devil, because everyone else still in this race has won at least one race so far this season. On board with Volstad as he goes now to start the final lap in Monte Carlo. And on board with the UK Ball, look at how much graining there is and blistering all over these soft tyres, especially on the front right. I haven't seen Monaco this hungry in a while. Down the hill comes Volstad. Catfish has found its way up into 6th, just to note. But now, as he comes through the tunnel, turn number 9. He's wanted to win a Crown Jewel event for quite a while. He might have won this race before, but I cannot truly remember. And he's in the wall! It's the wall for Oscar Volstad! And UK Ball comes and gives him a little nudge as well. This could be a very close finish to round out our day here in Monaco. But with Volstad 7 steps ahead, he's at the wall again! UK Ball's gonna take victory! I don't believe it! It's gonna be a 2nd Crown Jewel victory in the season! More contacts happening further back. UK Ball's first teammates at the wall, but UK Ball himself wins the Monte Carlo Prix and puts an end to the streak of unique winners in the ERL. Into the wall goes Ben Allen Lee, and it's a 2nd win of the season for UK Ball. Wow, what a finish! Driver sliding into the wall. Zach Wallace sets a new fastest lap as Ben Allen Lee out of the race. My goodness me. As we're watching with the Red Devil, he comes through the swimming pool. Motor safety car was called out there for Ben Allen Lee there. But this is the podium. For the 2nd time this season, UK Ball takes home victory at a Crown Jewel event, ahead of Oscar Volstad and Revo. Once again, we've got a champions-only podium. 5 world championships between the top 3. 3 of them going to Revo. Then it's Sebastian Ocampo, Ica World, Catfish and Zach Wallace. Then it's Remy LeBeau in 8th, Wallace Leclerc and Tommy. With the non-scorers being Daf Sanchez and the Red Devil, who were a lap down. And unfinishers were Ben Allen Lee, Daniel Bogdasarov, Mohamed Nawawi, Pablo Sierra, Pierre Gasly, Zay Lane, Anok Q, Denali Gabo, and Banas Jr. In the driver standings, Revo now takes the lead ahead of his first teammate, UK Ball. Then it's Pablo Sierra, Ocampo, Catfish, Remy LeBeau, Volstad, Leclerc, and Denali Gabo. Then it's Marcus Nelson, the Red Devil, Pierre Gasly, Daf Sanchez, Ica World, Mohamed Nawawi, Babinus Jr., Zay Lane, Zach Wallace, Ben Allen Lee, Tommy Bogdasarov, and Anok Q in the constructors' standings heading into the next round of the championship. DS Tashida lead the way from Power Renault and Sims Porsche DS. Then it's Kiro Renault DS, Andretti Trackhouse Renault E-Dams. That's so many Renaults and it's so fucking hard to say. Then it's DS McLaren TGR, Mercedes EQ, DS Venturi, and Nissan Nismo. We'll see you guys next time then when the ERL Formula E Series returns.